Like scenes from a blockbuster movie, we have details of a teenager in Kiambu County who murdered two of her siblings and a cousin. We have details of that story lined up for you tonight. And also, blockbuster movie scenes was synonymous, obviously looking at the Supreme Court petition, the IEBC submissions, as well as the splinter group of commissioners in the IEBC and why they want the presidential election annulled because of disagreeing with the results. We have details lined up for you, including the latest from President-elect William Ruto and Azimio leader Raila Odinga. Welcome to Sunday Express. Here are the highlights. I killed my siblings and cousin. Teenage girl in Kiambu County makes shocking confession. Seeking interpretation of law. Law Society of Kenya joined in. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is John Jacob Kioria. Sign language interpreter tonight is Ann Wangeshi. Of course, we'll be letting you in on the details about Raphael Tuju and what his response to the Supreme Court petition is about. And of course, the murder most foul in Kiambu County. That story will be coming up later. But let's just pick up on the Azimio la Umoja Coalition Executive Director Raphael Tuju has dismissed allegations by Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, Chairperson Wafula Chebukati, that he met him with a view to have him sway the presidential election results in Raila Odinga's favor. While admitting that he met Chebukati, Tuju says there were 10 people in the room at Bomas, where he raised concerns on reports that Forms 34A were being swapped. Tuju instead claimed that it was Chebukati who initiated a secret meeting with him. Meanwhile, a section of Azimio leaders have called for Chebukati's arrest of course, for alleged electoral offences.
In his submission to the Supreme Court on the presidential election petition, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chair Wafula Chebukati had claimed that Azimio la Umoja Executive Director Raphael Tuju had attempted to induce him to have Raila Odinga declared winner of the presidential election.
For him to claim that I made some offers to him in front of those 10 is a taradiddle, petty lie.
In his response today, Tuju admitted to meeting with Chebukati at 4 a.m. after several unsuccessful attempts earlier in the day to discuss intelligence reports he had received in regards to the uploading of Form 34As. Tuju, however, said the meeting was in the presence of 10 other officials of the commission. Tuju, however, accused Chebukati and 2 other commissioners of initiating a secret meeting with him in the run-up to the election.
I want Mr. Chebukati to explain to me and to explain to Kenyans when he came to a secret location to meet with me and what was that discussion about. At least he's talked about where 10 were. What was the discussion when he came to a secret location to see me in Karen?
Amid the accusations and counter-accusations, a section of leaders allied to Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party have now demanded the arrest of Chebukati for allegedly subverting the will of Kenyans in the August polls.
Those people whom we entrusted to do the work for which we paid them by taxpayers' money decided to change Bomas into crime scene.
Ni wazi ya kwamba Bwana Chebukati aliprint extra forms. Hiyo ni wazi. Extra forms the presidential results transmission. There is no reason why the DCI and the DPP should not move with speed and arraign Chebukati in a court of law. That cannot wait for the Supreme Court decision.
Chebukati kila mara anaiba kura yetu. Aliiba ya kwanza, akaiba ya pili, hatutakubali aibe tena kama tutakuwa katika nchi hii.
Chunge kura zetu kesho, Chebukati asitunyang'anye tena. Si ni kweli?
Speaking during a rally at Kamkunji grounds, they hit out at leaders who have shifted allegiance from Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition to Kenya Kwanza coalition, terming them traitors.
TJ Kajwang, we want you to institute legal proceedings against those guys wale wanaenda ovyo na wameingia na chama yetu ya Azimio. We have to be serious. Sisi kama watu wa Kibra, hata watu wakinunuliwa mote, I will remain the last person standing.
Na tumekuja kupeana notice kwa wale wenye njaa kutoka Nyando.
Timothy Kipnusu for Sunday Express.
And the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition leader Raila Odinga says he will remain firm in seeking justice, saying the presidential election petition at the Supreme Court will reveal who bungled the elections. Raila, who maintains he won the presidential election, saying Azimio is at the court to seek the truth and that he will accept a ruling of the Apex Court.
At the AIC Church Olympic in Kibra, Raila Odinga, accompanied by a host of leaders allied to the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition,
forevermore, in Jesus' name we pray,
sought spiritual intervention ahead of the Supreme Court hearing and ruling on the petition challenging the presidential results.
Hatujakuja kupiga siasa ndani ya kanisa, tumekuja kuomba. Lakini mimi nina furaha kuona Wakenya wamejionyesha kwamba wako na subra, sio watu ambao wana hamaki, na wanatulia, wanasubiri, wanangoja haki itendeke.
However, while trying to steer off the pending court case, the Azimio la Umoja leader reiterated that the coalition was in court to seek truth and justice.
Where is the truth? Between the two groups of commissioners, somewhere there's a truth. What I'm asking for as Raila Amolo Odinga is to be told the truth. And this is not just because of the elections of 2022. It's for posterity.
Raila maintaining he won the August 9th presidential election.
Tunaomba mahakama ifanye haki, ili haki ijulikane. Mimi Raila Odinga siogopi. Kama nilishinda nitasema nimeshindwa. Kama nilishinda nitasema nimeshindwa. Na nitarudi nyumbani. Lakini ukweli uko wapi? Mimi nina hakika sijashindwa kwa sababu jamaa. And therefore I will stand firm. I will not be shaken.
Raila termed the division in the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission as a disappointment and a shame to democracy, even as he took a swipe at IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati over remarks of attempted bribery.
Kama mwenyekiti wa tume ya uchaguzi anaweza kusema ati alikuwa anataka kuhongwa, nani alikuwa anataka kuhonga yeye? Na ni pesa ngapi? Na mbona haya kusema ati alikuwa anataka kuhongwa? Sasa Wakenya wanaweza kujiuliza, watatu wale ni wanasema ukweli au wanne wale wanasema ukweli?
The Azimio Brigade has expressed confidence in the judiciary, urging their supporters to remain patient. Kamchemenza for Sunday Express.
In a related story, President-elect William Ruto has lauded the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, for conducting what he termed as a free, fair, credible and transparent general election. Addressing a congregation at Christ the King Catholic Church in Kandui constituency, Bungoma County, Dr. Ruto said IEBC had set new standards in the history of the country's politics.
The president-elect lauded the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chair Wafula Chebukati for withstanding threats to deliver credible elections.
IEBC katika uchaguzi huu wamefanya mambo ambayo haijawahi kufanyika. Wamefanya uchaguzi wa huru, na wamefanya uchaguzi wa wazi. If there is a transparent election that has been held in the Republic of Kenya, it is the one of 9th of August 2022.
He also hailed Kenyans for conducting and maintaining peace after the election, terming this a sign of mature politics in the country that other countries in the region can emulate.
We can proudly say that Kenya is finally getting to the place where the truth and justice and public servants can serve, knowing very well that what they do, as long as they are doing right, will earn them a place, not just in the history of our nation, but will also earn them a place as of respect as public servants.
It is here that the president-elect asked Kenyans to maintain peace as they wait for the Supreme Court's decision on the presidential election petitions, sentiments echoed by other Kenya Kwanza leaders present.
Even as we wait for the decision of the court, let us be vigilant, let us be peaceful, and let us ensure that we move together and avoid conflict and avoid anything that can bring issues between the people of Kenya.
If there is one man who has stood firmly, committed himself to the truth, walked the path of righteousness, is one Chebukati with some of his team members.
We are now waiting for the Apex Court to make its decision, and as law-abiding citizens, we leave it to the court to make their decision.
For Sunday Express, I'm Zainab Said.
All right, as the president-elect alludes to the Supreme Court case coming up this week, and therefore the Law Society of Kenya has made an application at the Supreme Court seeking to be enjoined in the 9 presidential election petitions. In their application, LSK is seeking an interpretation of the law regarding the quorum of independent electoral and boundaries commissioners needed in tally and declaration of a presidential result. Ben Troy Njue has that report.
The Law Society of Kenya is the latest entrant in the list of parties seeking to be enjoined as amicus curiae or friend of the court in the 9 presidential election petitions filed at the Supreme Court.
With the questions of law that we believe will facilitate to resolve the dispute at hand. And we have raised several issues, 3 issues in fact, that we believe if the court would allow our application, then we will be able to verily assist the court in making determination on these serious 3 issues that we have raised.
Through their council member, Mwaura Kabata, LSK has presented a point of argument seeking interpretation of the vote tallying process and result announcement, one of them being the actual meaning of all votes cast.
Without canvassing the merits of our application, the issues include a determination of the standard of proof in this issue and the concise meaning of all votes cast, and then finally on the quorum of the IEBC, intentionally to forecast on how the commission properly is vested with quorum in terms of managing, verifying, tallying and declaration of the presidential election.
On Sunday, the Supreme Court registry based at the Milimani Law Courts saw a number of respondents in the matter filing rejoinders, including Attorney General Kihara Kariuki, Chama cha Kazi Party leader Moses Kuria, and former Mbeere South Member of Parliament Geoffrey Kingangi leading the pack. All interlocutory applications and matters arising from the suit should be filed by close of business on Monday, August 29, 2022. The Supreme Court is expected to hold a pre-trial conference on Tuesday, August 30th, 2022 to identify areas of dispute and narrow them down before the case proceeds for full hearing. Wednesday, August 31st is reserved for third-party or friend of court applications. The case will be heard and determined by all the 7 judges of the Apex Court, led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, within the 14 days since filing of the petition and a verdict delivered by September the 5th, 2022. For Sunday Express, I'm Ben Troinjue.
Of course, tomorrow will be interlocutory submissions being filed and then a pre-trial conference slated for Tuesday. But tomorrow it's not just the Supreme Court that is important. There are elections happening in Mombasa and Kakamega, and leaders allied to the Azimio coalition and the Kenya Kwanza fraternity are appealing to the electorate in Mombasa County to turn up in large numbers for the gubernatorial polls on Monday morning. The two camps also called on the security operators to be vigilant to ensure the process is conducted in a free, fair and transparent manner. The electoral body concluded preparations for the over 600,000 registered voters to cast their ballot tomorrow to elect the governors.
As the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission works round the clock in Mombasa to conclude preparations for the Monday gubernatorial polls, the contenders have joined the electoral body in appealing to the electorate to turn up in large numbers.
Uko tayari?
Leaders allied to the Azimio la Umoja coalition reaffirmed their readiness as they pleaded for peace and tolerance.
We are happy with the preparation of our team, the campaigns that we have done, which we concluded on Friday. Now, this team is ready to ensure that our votes are protected.
Naomba wakaji wa Mombasa tutoke kwa wingi, tuthibitishe kwa wale wapinzani wetu kwamba ushindi ulikuwa ni wetu kihalali.
We are here as leaders and we've come here to win. We are not losers and tomorrow we will win.
Watu wa Mombasa tunaomba heshima kubwa sana. Sisi tumekuja hapa ili tushirikiane na nyinyi. Tunaomba mtokee asubuhi na mapema.
Na tunawaonya yoyote mwenye fikra za kuiba kura kwamba amepotea njia.
And to make sure that they vote the right person who is going to take care of their interests.
Sentiments shared by the Kenya Kwanza camp, who affirmed that they will stay alert on the day's events.
Kesho tukiwa hai na uzima, wasiwe na uoga wowote, wajitokeze, watekeleze demokrasia yao ya kupiga kura.
Tunawaomba kwa unyenyekevu, munataka mageuzi, twendeni mukapige kura.
Watu wa Mombasa watatoka wapige kura na kura zitapigwa na IEBC itafanya kazi yao ya kuhakikisha ile kura imeingia kwa debe ndio itahesabiwa.
Karibu wabunge 60 wa Kenya Kwanza na 70 na tuko na pia na viongozi wengi sana wa hapa, na kesho tutakuwa macho, tutakuwa gangali.
Umeona ya kwamba zile strongholds zetu zote wakati wa election hii ambayo imeweza kupita hivi awali, wameweza kuchelewesha kufungua vile vituo ambao wanajua kwamba ni strongholds zetu. Tunapeana onyo kali sana kwa IEBC.
The rest has attracted 7 candidates who will be battling it out to succeed Hassan Joho to become the second governor of the coastal town. Former Mvita Member of Parliament Abdul Somad Sharif Nasir is vying on an ODM ticket, while former Mombasa Senator Hassan Omar Hassan is contesting on an UDA ticket. Others include outgoing Mombasa Deputy Governor William Kingi on a PAR ticket, Hezron Awiti on a VDP ticket, Daniel Munga Kitsao on an independent ticket, Said Abdallah on Usawa kwa Wote Party, Shafi Mwakazi for Upia, and Anthony Chitavi for the UDP party.
We expect a good number compared to the general election where we had 42% turnout in Mombasa County. So we expect the number to go higher.
Juni Karisa Mbele from Mombasa County.
Obviously, the big question is on turnout, but you'll remember the Ministry of Interior has declared a public holiday in the areas that will have elections tomorrow. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IBC, says that all is in place for the Kakamega County gubernatorial elections slated for Monday, August 29th. This as Western Region Police Commander Peris Kimani warned those who may have plans to disrupt the democratic exercise that they will face the full force of the law. Kimani further added that they have deployed a multi-agency team to patrol and ensure a smooth exercise as 8 candidates battle it out for the top county seat.
Kakamega County, which has 844,551 voters, is set to elect its next governor on Monday, August 29th, following its postponement twice by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. IEBC officials in the county say they expect the exercise to run smoothly without any difficulties.
Their agents
to ensure that after counting of the ballots, they take photo of the Form 37As that will be taken to the constituency tallying centers and later to the county tallying centers.
They'll close by 5 o'clock. Then after that one, we are going to start counting there and then. So I believe by around 9 o'clock, I'll be done with the exercise because it's only one position.
Security has also been beefed up across the county, with Western Regional Police Commander Paris Kimani saying they have deployed more officers.
We have gotten officers from our neighbor region. We have gotten special teams. I have also gotten officers from my other counties.
The Kakamega Gubernatorial race has attracted 8 candidates. They are Fernandez Baraza vying on an Orange Democratic Movement ticket, Cleophas Malala from Amani National Congress, Cyrus Jirongo from United Democratic Party, Suleiman Samba of KANU, Samuel Omukoko of Maendeleo Democratic Party, Michael Osundwa and Austin Opitso, who are both independent candidates. Kakamega County has 844,551 registered voters, 12 constituencies, 60 wards and 1,685 polling stations. Yusufar reporting for Sunday Express.
All right, we're taking our first breather on Sunday Express. When we come back, we'll be telling you about the other delayed polls in Kachaliba, as well as Pokot South, is Kitui Rural and Rongai. And those elections also happen tomorrow. Don't go too far.
I will not allow you to show up in my hotel, giving yourself a chance to brag like this. I will not allow it.
What do you plan to do to stop it?
You know quite well that marriage isn't really my thing. Do you understand? We're all unsuited for marriage.
Where did you leave my baby? What orphanage did you put him in?
I want you to speak to him and tell him that his dad is here and he wants to meet him as soon as possible.
There's one thing I know.
What is it? Tell me.
I don't want to stop seeing you.
But if you keep being rude and arrogant to everyone, you won't make anything of yourself.
Songea tukupashe na zile ambavyo vitakupa tabasamu tosha.
Hana mapenzi wala mahaba, mtoto mbaya sana huyu.
What did you just say? Sio tamthilia tu.
And why you're saying that
Ni tamthilia tosha.
Alinishika hivi. What?
Sio burudani tu, ni burudani tosha.
It is the day that the Lord has made.
Na sinema bomba.
Enda kabisa kama uelewi kitu inafaa uelewe.
Na mada za kusisimua. KBC Channel 1, shirika la utangazaji Kenya.
Stop! You're not authorized to enter the prince's palace.
I need to see the prince. Lady Lily is in labor. I needed to send the doctor now.
Your son didn't survive. Please spare me.
But he killed our baby.
What now?
My king, it's not true. Hear that? The baby's been born. She gave birth to a boy?
Yes, my lady.
Welcome back. You're watching Sunday Express. Of course, other than Kakamega and Mombasa, polls to elect members of the National Assembly will also be held in 4 constituencies, or members of the County Assembly will be elected in 2 wards on Monday. Jacqueline Masharia has the report.
Kitui Rural Constituency is one of the regions that will be electing a new member of the National Assembly. The returning officer, Winfred Ndoti, says all is set, urging all the 55,000 registered voters to turn out in big numbers and exercise their constitutional right.
The polling stations will be open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we are ensuring that we have distributed all the materials. We will be done by 5 p.m. so that they can proceed to the polling stations. We are encouraging all voters from Kitui Rural Constituency to show up in numbers to vote for their member of the National Assembly.
The election will pit the incumbent David Mwalika, who is vying on a Wiper Democratic Movement party ticket, and United Democratic Alliance candidate Charles Nyamai, who is a former MP. The electorate in Rongai constituency in Nakuru County will also be electing their member of National Assembly. Raymond Moy of Kanu will be seeking to retain the seat for the third time and will face Paul Chebor of UDA and Luka Kigan of Chama Mashinani. Rongai constituency has a total of 77,162 registered voters. In Kachaliba constituency, West Pokot, 3 candidates are also vying for the same seat. Mark Lomnokol of UDA, Titus Lote of Kenya Union Party KUP, and John Lodinho of Kanu. Kachaliba constituency has a total of 51,146 registered voters. In Pokot South constituency in the same county, David Kosing is seeking re-election on a KUP ticket. Simon Kalekem is vying on a UDA ticket, while James Tekos is an independent candidate. Pokot South has a total of 58,406 registered voters. Monday the 29th of August will also see the electorate in Kwanjenga Ward in Nairobi and Nyaki West Ward in Imenti North Meru County deciding their member of County Assembly.
All right. Obviously, that story was produced by Jackie Masharia and voiced by Ben Trainjue. A community in Kilifi County has confessed to, and of course I will take that a little bit later. Let me just take you to our top story this night, where a 15-year-old girl in Kiambu County has confessed to the murder of her 3 siblings and a cousin. The victims were aged between 20 months and 7 years. The former girl told police she committed the murders between February and July of 2021. And in Marmanet, Laikipia County, a 27-year-old man was stabbed to death, allegedly by his friend, after they quarreled during a drinking spree.
The Form 1 student at Kawadhei Girls Secondary School confessed to detectives how she murdered her kin, aged 15 months, 5 years and 7 years between February and July 2021. Her distraught father narrated how she called him to confess to the murders, prompting him to report the matter at Kikuyu police station.
Huyu mtoto ndio aliua watoto wao na huyo mtoto mwingine wa mwanko yake. Sasa baadaye hapo sio tukachukua hatua, tukasema tufiro kesi. Sababu tukikaa hivyo, sababu hata nasikia ati anasema hata hajamaliza.
Tukaanza kuongea, akaitwa, tukaanza kuongea, ndio alianza kuconfess sasa. Na kuna zile mambo aliongea na akasema ni yeye alikuwa anafanya hizo mambo.
She also confessed to have murdered her cousin, who was 20 months old, at Gathiga village, Kabete sub-county, by drowning him in a well.
Watoto wa dadangu waliaga, na kulingana na venye waliaga, the same thing ndio ili happen hapa. Juu alikuwa nakiri jana aliua watoto wao venye aliua mtoto wetu. Lakini sasa beleni hatukuwa tunajua ni yeye anaweza fanya kitendo kama hiyo. Juu ukimwangalia kwa uso, she is very innocent.
Sababu hii kifo yote na huyu watoto wanakufa, hakuna mtoto anakufia kwa hospitali, anakufia hapa, mtu anakuwa hai. Naona hakuwa anagojeka kukaa hivi tuseke mtoto amegojeka na kaaga.
The killings that occurred in the past year caused a major row of suspicion in the family, with their aging grandmother bearing the barrage of attacks.
Unajua mamake hakuwa akitaka tuongee na yeye kwa sababu alikuwa akisema ni mimi naua watoto.
The family is urging police to unravel the motive behind the bizarre killings.
Sasa mimi ningetaka tujue kiini na ichimbwe kabisa. Hata kama kuna mtu kwa familia yetu ama yao alimuingiza kwa hizo ushirikina, atafutwe na hiyo mambo ikuwe uwazi.
Afuatiwe mpaka mimi nijue hiyo roho mbaya alitoa wapi na alifanya nini, ndio ni sijui nitasemaje bwana.
The minor is in police custody awaiting arraignment in court.
Investigations are at an advanced stage, and to avoid jeopardizing investigations, we are not going to disclose the nitty-gritties of the matter.
Elsewhere, grief gripped residents of Kajiado village in Marmanet in Laikipia County after a man aged 27 years was stabbed to death by a friend. Eyewitnesses said John Kipto was stabbed several times with a kitchen knife by the suspect, identified as James Kiugu, aged 70 years, after they quarreled at a beer den.
Kukuja unakuta sarika amekufa kwa tumerudi. Kwenda kuuliza Roja, umeua mzee? Ndio hii kisu.
Na hata chibu tumeambia yeye, hata mzee aitora tunaambia na hapana sikia, na tumeletewa askari maiti, ni kama amekufa na ni askari, na si askari, hata wanakunywa pombe, hata nilikuta asubuhi wakikunywa pombe. Sasa mtoto yangu inakufa kama umbwa.
Beatrice Getonyenge-Tich, Sunday Express.
Sad episodes there in the story by Beatrice Getonye. But relating to elections, let's cross over to Kakamega County. Our reporter Weekly Focus is on standby to tell us about the preparations by the IEBC ahead of that very important exercise tomorrow. Weekly Focus, how are you doing? What's the latest from Kakamega?
Good evening to you, John Jacob Kioria. Of course, after two postponement, finally Kakamega electorate now have the time to elect who is going to be their next governor for the next 5 years. And right where we are, this is Hale School in Kakamega, that is in Lurambi constituency, one of the 12 constituencies constituting the vast Kakamega County. And right now, what was happening here for the last throughout the day was the dispatching of election materials to various polling stations here. For example, here in Lurambi we have about 176 polling stations, and as you can see right behind me here, still we have the presiding officers and some of the deputies are still picking up some of the election materials in the company of police officers here. And something that I can maybe talk about is about the you remember this is the post that was postponed, but the other election seats were conducted 20 days ago here, and the turnout wasn't quite pleasing here. But then we just want to see how tomorrow will pan out. And joining me on set right now is the Abdallah Salim, who is the constituency returning officer for Lurambi constituency here. Mr. Abdallah, I'm going to engage him on the voter turnout, probably to help us understand what will happen tomorrow with regards to voter turnout, now that we have a holiday that was declared for this part and other areas that are hosting these elections here. And just probably to engage you, Mr. Abdallah, we are live on KBC here as the returning officer for Lurambi constituency, and you oversaw this exercise, a similar exercise, maybe 20 days ago here. Gauging by the turnout in those for those elective seats and tomorrow, what do you make of it?
Well, we don't expect much, given that it's not a national holiday throughout the country. It's just for Mombasa and Kakamega. And voters came all the way from Mombasa, Kisumu, Nairobi, Nakuru, and that might not be the same this time. So the turnout might not be that high comparatively.
What was it for the elective seats?
The last general election we had around 60% in the Lurambi constituency, which was a good number. Yes, but tomorrow...
Your projection and probably the reason?
The reason was there was a public holiday, the whole country. But this time, being that we have only a holiday in Kakamega and Mombasa, the turnout might not be very, very high like last time. Maybe 50% or 40%. Yes.
This election is only happening for the governor's seat, bearing in mind that the other elective seats had already been conducted. And the Minister of Education told the IBC that this election should have the minimal interference on the education perspective. This is Hills School. what measures probably have you put in place to ensure probably that this exercise does not interfere with learning?
For sure, not going to interfere with the learning here, because tomorrow all schools in Kakamega and Mombasa are closed. So most students or people are at home up to Tuesday. So we shall have a whole field day the whole of tomorrow. And being one position, we shall be able to announce results as early as 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and leave the place for the students or the pupils. Yes.
I can see some still officers maybe picking up. So who are they, and what materials are they picking still?
Oh, these are just our officials who are coming from within around. Maybe they are just picking some forms, some administrative forms which they might have forgotten. They've come back for them. And the police officers you are seeing, these are our talent center security officers who are taking care of this place up to tomorrow. Yes.
Thank you so much. Kioria, that is Salim Abdallah, who the constituency returning officer for Lurambi constituency here, telling us that everything is in place, and actually the turnout. So in as much as it was bad the other time, it maybe was. That is what he's saying, and that is pegging that on the fact that the other time there was a national holiday, but then this one is just a holiday declared for this constituency, and for this Kakamega County, along with other specific areas that are witnessing this kind of exercise. Well, this is just one of the many steps involved in this exercise, and we'll be speaking from 6 a.m. when the polling stations will be opened for this exercise, and we will update our viewers progressively. Back to you, JJ.
Weekly for Catch, of course. Enjoy your night. We'll be linking up with you very early in the morning, but for now it's a goodbye. All right, let's take this forward. That's Weekly for Catch from Kisumu County, of course, from Kakamega County right now. He's a reporter stationed in Kisumu County, but right about now in Kakamega County, obviously breaking down for us the preparations ahead of tomorrow's gubernatorial election in Kakamega. A community in Kilifi County has stopped logging mangroves for timber, charcoal and firewood following a successful project of sea fish farming that is bearing fruit. The community from Kibokoni village, living near the tail end of a Kilifi Creek, is now embracing proper conservation methods to protect the ecosystem, as opposed to the previous years when they would destroy nature for survival.
Through the project started by Kenya Marine Fisheries Research Institute, through mariculture development and funded by Western Indian Marine Association, the community here is farming the rabbit fish, popularly called tafi in Swahili, and prawns. They came together under the Umoja Self-Help Group, whose chair, Christine Sori, says rabbit fish farming is the top earner.
Wengi sisi tutanufaika, tutapata mradi, tutapata pesa, tutasomesha watoto wetu kwa bidii kwa ajili ya huo mradi.
Locals who used to chop mangroves for timber, charcoal and firewood have found a viable alternative in fish farming, hence conserving the environment.
Lakini hapo mwanzo hakika tulikuwa ni watu wa kuteseka, maana hata tulikuwa ni kuni, fito, tuipeleke Kilifi, tulikuwa tu watu wa kuteseka sana.
Dr. David Imirera, the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute Assistant Director in charge of mariculture development, said they started working with Umoja Self-Help Group in 2011, teaching them how to produce fish as a business venture.
Tumeendelea na kuwasaidia walipokuwa hawana kitu ya kufanya. Sana sana walikuwa na hali ya kuchukua kuni na kuweza kuuza katika mji wa Kilifi. Lakini tulipoanzishia kazi hii wameishika na wanaendelea vizuri.
Research funded by Western Indian Marine Association established that rabbit fish can do well in the area.
Samaki huyu tavi akona bei iliyo juu. Kwa mfano milk fish unaweza ukamuuza kwa kilo shilingi 250, lakini tafi unaweza ukamuuza shilingi 350 mpaka 450 kwa kilo, kulingana na wakati ambapo mahali utaweza kupata samaki huyu. Na zaidi ni kwamba tafi huyu akona nyama nyingi, kwa hivyo yamaanisha kwamba with the time tunaweza tukafundisha community hii wakafanya hata filleting watakapokuwa wameanza kufuna samaki kwa wingi.
With such innovations, local communities can begin transforming their lives by tapping into the blue economy that is now trending globally.
Bahari tumekuwa tuitumii kwa muda mrefu, lakini tunapoanza kuitumia jinsi hii kwa ajili ya kupata fedha na kufuna samaki wanaotosha na watu kula samaki ili kwamba wasije wakapata malnutrition, ni kwamba tutaweza kujiendeleza pamoja kama nchi, kama community, na hata ikizidi tunaweza tuka-export samaki huyu kwa ajili ya wengi kutumia.
45 community members in Kibokoni have been equipped with skills in hatching fish to train other farmers to mitigate shortage of fish during low season.
Katika eneo hili tulianza na samaki tunayoita milk fish. Tukamfuga, community wakamuelewa, lakini tumerealize kwamba samaki huyu hapendwi na wengi. Tukakuja samaki ambaye anaitwa kamba. Kamba ni samaki anayependeka sana. Hata hivi tulivyo hapa, wengine wameenda kule baharini kutafuta mbegu ya kuja kujaza katika hizi ponds ambazo ya kuweza kuproduce kamba.
Sentiments echoed by Hamol Jabir, the Vice Secretary of Umoja Self-Help Group, who said such projects would increase fish supply as there isn't enough fish within the creek.
Serikali lazima izidi kuwekeza. Maanake kwanza mimi tulianza mradi nikiwa mdogo 2011, nilikuwa kama 19 years na nikaukumbatia paka sasa. Na nimeona kwamba ni iko na manufaa mazuri.
Tukifanya kama wanaofanya wenzetu hapa mmoja mmoja na tukaongeza hiyo vikundi, basi hivyo ndio uchumi wa mtu mmoja mmoja, uchumi wa county na vile vile wa nchi na jumuiya nzima hii inayozunguka ukanda wa pwani ya magharibi ya Hindi utaongezeka.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Hello there. Good boys gone bad.
Eric Omondi has evolved from being a comedian to now being the king clout chaser.
How does a gospel artist make money? Jaguar wept again.
As a celeb, as a followers, but it's a time for artists to make bank.
How is your relationship with Zari, considering that she dates young?
These are accessories.
They do not make slap the guy.
Yo, what's up? My name is Ted Josiah.
Oh, mashallah.
You sing about serious issues, it will not trend. If you sing about Abiambosi.
Now.
Bahati hata kuwa na machozi. Willy Paul ndio alikuwa anatoa machozi.
For your beat these boys with stones. That's all be logic. Yesu ashukangi chini analeta pesa.
Musicians are missing the point.
Do we sip water?
You are watching Pop Culture with Adhiambo with a Y.
Aya, ile mshtuko nikashindwa, watu wamekatwa singo.
Kwa nini analeta mimi shule? I want us to cooperate together.
Cooperation ni ile ya serikali.
Sio hiyo unamaanisha. Mimi ndio mwalimu ama ni wewe?
Changanya mimi Monday, Jumatatu na Tem. Tofauti na gani?
Hii ni hot towel mate tulijifundishwa. Hiyo nani alikwambia ndio hot towel?
Welcome back to Sunday Express. In a bit, we'll be heading over to Richard Munga, who is on standby with sports. But for now, the well-known proverb, necessity is the mother of invention, rings true for a group of educationists in Nairobi County who have come together to set up a resource center for the benefit of competency-based curriculum CBC learners. Gravity CBC Practical and Project Center, located at the Eastern Bypass, provides learners with essential materials required to implementing CBC projects, as Zainab Said reports.
That balcony that you have outside your house.
Lessons ongoing at Gravity Park CBC Center. Learners from the nearby schools are here to actualize their grade 6 project.
Yeah, you are fearing.
Haiwezi.
Haiwezi, usiangushe.
The facility, which charges a modest fee, helps teachers and learners actualize practical lessons, which are a key component of the competence-based curriculum.
In grade 6, they're talking about the rearing of guinea pigs or rabbits or chicken, which we are prepared. We have the houses, specifications, the facilities that are needed to take the runners through.
Teachers laud the initiative and say it has been of great help considering the tight academic calendar.
Projects katika shule na wakati ambao tumekuwa nao ijatupatia nafasi ya kuexplore vizuri. Kwa hivyo ukipata ya kwamba unaweza panga kuleta wanafunzi wako mahali hapa, unaweza fanya projects nyingi wakati mmoja na itakuwa imesaidia kucover the syllabus.
Most of the CBC projects are very expensive, so if the school decide to do all of them at the same time, they cannot manage, and therefore that's why we decided to come here so that we see all of them at once.
Grade 6 learners, who are the pioneers of the competence-based curriculum, will sit for their grading examinations between 28th and 30th November before transitioning to junior secondary school in January next year.
And our family in Kakamega County is seeking answers from Kakamega High School over the disappearance of your son under unclear circumstances. The 17-year-old Neville Mooker, who is in Form 3, went missing while in school, and the family claims they have been denied entry into the institution. Here is a roundup from the counties.
The family to Neville Mooka, a Form 3 student at Kakamega High School, has recorded a statement with the police over his disappearance. They claim Neville was last seen in school on Wednesday, August 24th, 2022, and the school administration is silent on the matter.
Naomba kila mtu, all people of goodwill, to please help us to trace our son. And we don't expect any student to walk out of this school without authority.
Elsewhere, a section of post-elections violence victims in the country through Kenya Internally Displaced Persons Organization has raised concerns over the current stalemate over presidential election results.
Right now, the entire nation is put to a standstill, claimed to be having a presidential election which is being contested in a court of law. The entire government, the entire society is driven towards the petition. Our agitation is this: our president, our dear president, come out clear and help us as a nation.
And over 300 inmates from Thika men and women's prisons have benefited from a short course on how to manually produce paper products such as envelopes, shopping bags and cake boxes for extra earning. The training, offered by Jamii Products Limited in collaboration with Kenya Prison Services, is aimed at rehabilitating the inmates by equipping them with hands-on skills.
Inmate tumewafunza siku 4, wametengeneza makaratasi ya sukari, bahasha, gift bags, cake boxes, popcorn bags, all of them. Na nimeonyesha pia kufanya branding. Ile branding ya kuchola ile the logo of the company. So unapata hawa watu wakitoka hapa, wakienda huko nje watakuwa active na wanasaidia the society also, kwa sababu mpaka hata wanaweza ajiri watu wawili au watatu na waweze kuendelesha maisha.
In Narok County, a tourism university has been established at Masai Mara Game Reserve. Maurice Nabaala, the college principal, said the key mandate of the institution is research and community service. The college will also work with Masai Mara University in curriculum development and expertise. Elvis Otieno, Sunday Express.
The college does.
Hamna amani tena
kwani kwa Laba na Hana kuna panda shuka si haba.
Mtoto wangu hataona psychiatrist yoyote.
Shut up! Kelsey naye ni pilipili kali wa pili.
Sitaki kumwona kesi nyumbani kwangu. Period.
Jackie huyo anajaribu vyake kwa kati.
Nilikwambia nitakuharibu uso wako. Ndio unajua kwamba uhalifu ukufai.
Safari na Kahindi wanazo ngoma si haba.
Nyinyi kuna nini?
Huyu Kahindi alisema tatila somo kwenye chakula.
Yote hayani katika tamthilia ya Maza. Fululiza Jumanne hadi Alhamisi saa 1:30.
Well, good evening. Great to have your company for KBC Sports Update with me, Richard Munga. Top on the sports update tonight, Nepal won the T20 International against Kenya by 4 wickets to take a 2-1 lead in the 5-match series. The match was played at the Nairobi Gymkhana grounds. Kenya won the toss and elected to put, scoring 156 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. The host innings were boosted by a 127-run third-wicket partnership between Rakib Patel and Irfan Karim, who are unbeaten on 73 and 55 runs respectively. In reply, Nepal scored 162 runs for the loss of 6 wickets to win the match by 4 wickets with 3 balls to spare. Janendra Malla top scored for Nepal with 46 runs, while Arjun Saeed added 35. The next match will be played on Monday, with Kenya needing a win to level the series, while a win for Nepal will hand them an assailable 3-1 lead. Meanwhile, national champions Dagoretti High School suffered a shock 5-4 defeat on post-match penalties to Highland High School in the semi-finals as the curtains came down on the Nairobi County Secondary School's Term 2 games at Lelana School. Highland High School were crowned champions after humbling Willite High School 2-1 in a closely contested final. The national Term 2 games will be held in Nakuru between 8th and 14th of September this year. It was an exciting semi-final featuring defending champions Dagoretti and Highland Hill, with both teams missing clear-cut chances, forcing a goalless draw in normal time. The match proceeded to penalty shootout, where Highland High School grabbed a 5-4 victory, ending Dagoretti's hopes of defending the title.
Tactically, maybe I'll just talk about the team mobility. It's what I'm going to improve. But if you ask me against my previous opponents, then it's something different because it was just power play against them.
Elsewhere in handball, Hospital Hill High School recorded a 40-23 win over Aquinas High School in the final. Dagoretti Mixed Secondary School also registered a 37-9 victory over Buruburu in the girls category.
Tumekuja hapa, hizo team zenye tulicheza nazo always tunachezanga nazo and we are always winners. So tulijua tu tutashinda. Tulijua sisi ndio lazima tubebe cup. Unfortunately,
we played our defense really well, but on attacking we had a mistake. On attacking, watu walikuwa wanaogopa, wanaenda hapo, wanashindwa, wanarudisha ball. Dribbling a lot, una dribble, una lose ball. And then most of our competitors, our Dagoretti girls, ni wala tap ball.
Meanwhile, Lenana's hopes of qualifying for the Rugby 7-a-side national competition were halted after losing 14-12 to Dagoretti.
If you perform well in the field, you'll also definitely perform well in class, because playing in the field helps you relax your mind. And when you go back to the classroom, wherever you'll read, you'll be able to understand easily.
Game yenyewe haijakuwa mzuri. Juu target ilikuwa 60 na tumefikisha 42-23. Tukutaka wafikishe bao 10 lakini wamepita na 13 scores.
And finally, Soweto High School beat Brown Hill by 3 sets of 1 of 25-23, 25-14, 22-25 and 25-13 in the girls volleyball finals.
Over 20 schools took part in the 2 days championship.
After today's final, the qualified team will now start practicing ahead of the national competitions, which will be held in Nakuru next month. For Sunday Express, I'm Daniel Mwendo.
Thank you, Daniel Mwendo, for that report. Now, moving on to other matters, defending champion Umang Soni moved a step closer to defending his title when he won the second round of the Kenya National Tarmac Championship that was held at the WRC Service Park in Naivasha. Umang clocked 3 minutes and 1 second, followed closely by Yoshiro Mugambi, who was the second fastest, clocking 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Leroy Mwamba completed the podium finish, clocking 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Yoshiro Mugambi took home the trophy for the fastest time of the day by setting a record time of 1 minute and 5 seconds in his last heat. The Tarmac Championship was organized by the Delta Motorsports Club, with points going towards awarding the winner at the end of the season. Well, the next story is more of an update. Really, Kenya Sevens, that is Shujaa, has lost against Australia. That is in the quarterfinals of the main cup. And now Shujaa will be taking on USA at 11:25 tonight. And that match is for the 5th place semi-final. So we are going to be keeping you up to date in our subsequent sports updates. Now, elsewhere, grassroots sport forms the foundation for future sports stars and administrators. And to achieve this, community sports centers are where their talents are nurtured. One such venue is the Zebra Community Sports Center that has been put up in Nairobi's Utawala area by Agnes Masalange. Kioria Mwangi shares the story.
Establishing a community sports center in a community is an uphill task. But Agnes Masalange has overcome the odds to set up Zebra Community Sports Center in Nairobi's Utawala Estate.
The population is very high, but there is no any sporting activity. Alafu watu walisahau. They only build rental houses, wanajenga tu nyumba za business. Walisahau ya kwamba sports is also essential to their children and even to themselves. Sasa, mimi nilionelea ya kwamba if I build this facility, at least watoto wakuje, then we nurture their talents, because sports is the one that imenifanya who I am.
The center allows upcoming sports person grow their skills in chess, boxing, karate, darts, among other disciplines.
At least itasaidia wengi, especially watoto wanacheza chess, wanacheza table tennis, wanacheza darts inacheza na above 18, and I have so many youth here wenye wanacheza darts. Kuna boxing can play from the age of 5 or 8 years. Kuna karate wanacheza, and I have so many leaders of federation who are also interested.
Zebra Chess Club is coming up with these kids. They are very bright and sharp. Our vision is to establish a chess hub here so that people know chess mashinani iko real.
With adequate funding, the center can be expanded to reach out more youths.
The facility is just empty. I only improvise the equipments so that I can. But ninaomba the government and the federations and the well-wishers, if they also support me with the equipments, especially indoor equipments.
We wish the county to support places like this, encourage many more community centers, and parents especially to let their children come out and play.
Masalange believes that sport not only promotes a healthy lifestyle, but helps develop all-round person.
Muhimu tusiconcentrate na wale, tusiwe sana concentrate na wale wakubwa, turudi chini, tukue hao wadogo tuinue ili wawe ndio players wetu wale tunategemea wakati sisi wenyewe wale tutakuwa tumetoka ama tumeretire.
Sports pia watoto, they build themselves, they socialize, even cognitively they be fit, physically they be fit, and they also know how to socialize with one another.
And with a message to the entire community. Agnes Masalange being the mastermind of Zebra Community Sports Center, her focus remains to the youth as she nurtures their dexterity, hoping one day they'll participate both locally and internationally in major tournaments. Reporting for KBC from Nairobi, I'm Kioria.
Kioria Mwangi always doing wonders on the microphone. Of course, like I told you last Sunday, the only Mokorino in mainstream media and doing his bit, just as you would guess. Obviously, yesterday was a big day for Chelsea, quite a narrow escape.
Of course, a couple of teams actually experienced, narrow escapes yesterday. Starting with Manchester United,
obviously,
of course, managing to actually get out with 3 points, winning 1-0 against Southampton, and obviously in the other one, obviously Chelsea against 10-man Chelsea against Leicester winning. And today we also had some games. Wolverhampton Wanderers played out to a 1-1 draw against Newcastle United. You had Tottenham Hotspurs beating Newcomers Nottingham Forest by 2-0, and you had Aston Villa playing against West Ham. West Ham won that match. So that's what has been happening in the world of sports, in the world of the EPL, and obviously Arsenal fans are delighted at the moment. 4 matches, 4 wins, and the EPL will continue midweek this week, so we're going to be giving you more updates in regard to that. And if you allow me, for the motorsports fans, of course,
very quickly.
That is Formula 1. Max Verstappen has extended his lead, meaning that he has way greater chances of winning the F1 championship this season after winning in Belgium today, so that's a plus. So in the series, he leads by 284 points. His teammate, Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez, is second on 191 points, while Ferrari's Charles Leclerc is third on 186 points.
All right, fantastic. Unfortunately, you have to wind it up. Thank you again for the update, and obviously it means then that Arsenal are the front runners in terms of the EPL, but you and me can bet it's only for some time. Have yourself a good night. My name is John Jacob Kioria. God bless.
I'm Richard Munga. Do have a good night.